Hello everyone, and thank you for watching what I got for you today. Today's video is going to be so powerful, you need to stay and listen to it all. Nowadays, everybody's talking about gut health, gut health, gut health. It's everywhere, and I love it because the more you hear about gut health, you learn the importance it is for your health, from fatigue to joint pain to inflammation to headaches to bloating to digestive issues to hair loss to skin issues. It's all surrounded by your gut and what's going on in your gut. So today I want to address gut health, but bigger than just addressing gut health, there is a step that should never be missed when you are trying to heal your gut. So when we're talking about gut health, let me more or less bring it all to you. But before we begin, let me introduce myself to all of you who don't know who I am. My name is Debbie Williams, and I'm a board certified nutritionist, and I specialize or focus on gut health, on liver health, on kidney health, and on hair and skin health. And why all of those? Well, because these are the problems that many of us are having. And I would say that the problems that you're having when you go to your doctor, it's called a mystery illness because they don't know what's wrong with you. But at the end of the day, it goes back to your gut, but it may go back to your liver being overworked, overprocessed, and it can go back to your kidneys. Even with hair loss and skin issues like psoriasis and eczema, it all goes back to our gut. And so as a nutritionist, the goal is to tell you that how we can reverse gut issues and all other issues, it's in our diet. It's about nutrients. It's about what we put into our body system. So who else better to tell you how to reverse most of these health issues is a nutritionist and even a dietitian. We tend to know the body and what it needs. Food is medicine, and every nutrient that you need comes from the food that comes from the ground. And when I say nutrients, I'm talking about your calcium, which plays a major role in your health, magnesium and potassium, phosphorus, iron, copper, zinc, selenium, and so much more. These are sustenance that keeps you alive. It's the fuel that ignites your body. And when you know what nutrients you need, and I'm telling you this from experience, you may be able to reverse so many health issues that you are dealing with, or maybe one of your loved ones. So today we're going to address gut health, but we're going to address one major thing that you cannot miss if you are trying to heal your gut. And I have a wonderful guest here with me today, a good friend of mine, and I'm going to tell you a lot about him in just a minute. And he's going to come and join in the conversation. So guys, when I'm talking, it's about education. I tell you to get your pen, get your paper, because there's some things that you will hear today that you have never heard, but you can back it up. There's science, there's resources to back up all this information. So let's do this. So the first thing I want to do before I introduce my wonderful guest, Doug Godkin, is I want to tell you a little bit about the gut, so when he gets into his story, you'll understand it better. So the gut is often referred to as our body's second brain. And why is that? Because it plays a pivotal role in our overall health, far beyond just digesting the food we eat. It's fascinating how this intricate system, the gut system, has control over various functions and impacts on our daily life. So some of the things that the gut plays a role in is your digestion and how nutrients are absorbed within your body. The gut also plays a good role in your immune system, and it regulates your immune system. As a matter of fact, 70% of your immune system is in the gut system. Your gut, and this is a big one, plays a major role with our mental health and our mood regulation. That's something that many people aren't aware of. But when your gut is disrupted, when your gut is not doing good, neither is your mind and your mentality. So we need to learn too about that, how we can help ourselves to deal with anxiety, depression, and so many other stresses of life. Today, I'm going to share with you again the one thing and the one step you should never miss that can help you through your mental health and all other problems. Also, the gut helps with hormone regulation. 80% of our hormones are produced in the gut. And so one of the things that we should know is serotonin, which is the feel-good hormone that has a lot to do with our moods and behaviors. If our gut is disrupted or disturbed, your body's not producing enough of that serotonin. So yes, you have a lot of attitude. Yes, you are depressed. Yes, you are irritable. So again, if you want to fix those problems, if you don't want to be the person that you're so irritable all all the time and you don't even know why, then I need you to stay and listen to this entire video to the end. Our gut also helps in detoxification. The gut also helps in our skin health. And guess what? Most importantly, if the gut is healthy, it will help us with disease prevention. So now that I've shared all those things with you, I've listed some of the main functions of the gut. What I want you to understand is one thing that you need when you are in the process of healing your gut. There's lots of things, but one thing for sure, in order to heal the gut, you have to change your diet. It's about diet and lifestyle. You have to stop eating the bad foods. There's so many different things. But even if you change your diet, you have to add this one thing to the diet, and it's called probiotic. I know you all have heard about probiotics. Many people are taking probiotics, but today I'm going to bring the tea. I'm going to tell you a little bit about probiotics that you don't know, and I'm going to tell you a lot about probiotics that you need to know, because all probiotics are not created equal. All probiotics is not going to do the job well, but a probiotic is necessary in your gut health recovery. Not only a probiotic, but a prebiotic also. So this is where Doug is coming in. Doug owns his own supplement company called AmioLife, and you can check them out at amiolife.com. But why I love conversating with Doug is because even though he owns a company, he's an advocate of I would say, peeling back the curtain on supplement companies, the do's and the don'ts, what they're not doing right, what they should be doing right. And it's not even a situation here, we're not here to sell you a product, we're just here to educate. So this is why I always bring him in, so that we can educate you and arm you with knowledge and power. So when you are making a decision on your self-care, you know exactly what you need. So Doug, while I gave my intro here, I want to introduce him. I'm going to ask him some questions so that these questions that I ask will help you on your journey to understand probiotics. So welcome, Doug, my friend, to another episode of helping you to understand what probiotics are and why you need them. And so the first thing I want to say is people hear the term probiotic, but they might not understand fully what a probiotic is. So can you help us and explain what are probiotics and why do we need them?
Yeah, and the easiest way to think about probiotic is think about the workhorse that's in your digestive system, breaking down the foods and breaking down the substances. Whenever we ingest something, and let's just say we ingest our food, we need these healthy microbes to break that food down and distribute it throughout the body. Without those healthy microbes, that food sits on our stomach or passes out our waste system, but realistically the food doesn't do what the food's intended to do. And, originally food for us as people, as well as our pets, is where we get our mineralization, where we get the nutrients, where we get all of the different things for our body to thrive on and survive on. The unfortunate thing is in our diet nowadays and all of the different things that we consume, these foods, these substances, these sugars, all of these laboratory created ingredients, let's say that we consume on a daily basis, have essentially wiped out those healthy microbes. So they're non-existent. And as a result of that, we see people getting sick, right? We're not delivering nutrients through the body. The gut is referred to as the second brain, and it's bigger than the brain in our head. But our gut controls so many of the things that happens in our body. And like you're referring to earlier, it's our immune system, it's our digestive system, it's our mood, it regulates pain. And without that gut functioning properly, then our body breaks down very quickly. And so many people live to a label of what they think they have or what they've been diagnosed to have, as far as, I've got fibromyalgia, I've got X condition, I've got that condition. They don't realize, or they don't put two and two together to realize, I've got a digestive condition, or I've got an inflammatory condition that's being caused by digestive concern. People haven't been trained, or they're not thinking about, when I go to the doctor and the doctor says I've got such and such an illness, they get a prescription for a medication and then they take that, which in so many cases is furthering the concern. But it's not like, what's causing this? What's causing me to be ill? How do I start to get over that? What is a big step that I can just make today to start to course correct what's causing my body to fall apart?
Something you said, I want to go back to it in the beginning of the conversation. You talked about the microbes. So just to be clear, there may be many people who don't know what microbes are. So I'll talk a little bit about it, and then Doug, you can take over from there. So in our digestive system, we have something called the microbiome. It is a community of where there are microbes. There is bacteria, there is fungi, and there's viruses that live in our body. And as a matter of fact, we actually have more bacteria in our body than we have human cells. So we're just the host to this body because there's more bacteria in this body. Bacteria, they are one of the microbes. Virus, one of the microbes. And this is what lives in our body. And these microbes that Doug mentioned is what helps our organs and glands do its job every day. And with these microbes, most of us nowadays, one of the reasons why many of us are unhealthy in so many ways is because of the amount of microbes or the type of microbes that we have in our body. As a matter of fact, these trillion of microbes that live in our body, they all have a name and a position and a function and a role that they play in our body. Specifically, and I know Doug will probably get on that, one that's very popular is bifidobacterium. It's a very important microbe that lives within the body system, but they are there purposely for the body. And this is where the probiotics come into play. Because if you've ever had antibiotics taken at any point in time in your life, the antibiotics, what it did was it killed off the infection for whatever your doctor saw you had an infection or for whatever reason you needed the antibiotic. But not only did it kill off the infection, it also killed off the bad, which was the infection, but it also killed off a lot of your good. So many of us are unhealthy nowadays is because within that within that microbiome, within that community system, there should be balance. There should be a sufficient amount of the good bacteria and the bad. They live together in harmony. This is how God made everything and made us. But unfortunately, most of us do not have enough of the good bacteria. We have more of the bad guy living in our body, taking over. Picture your body as, I always say this, a luxury condominium. And you have two types of tenants. You have the good tenants who takes care of the property and the community. And then you have the bad tenants that don't take care of anything. They don't do anything right. That's what's living in your body right now. And if you are a person where you're suffering with lots of pains, you're suffering with digestion, you're suffering with bloating, you're suffering with just discomfort or dis-ease, and that's what disease is. Disease is basically dis-ease. You are not comfortable. Your ease. You're not pain-free, I should say. So if you are a person where you suffer in some form, it is likely that your gut is disturbed, and those microbes, those bacteria, that fungi and virus, you don't have enough of the good guys in it. And this is another reason where probiotics come into play. So being that I said that now, Doug, you can take from there the role that probiotics play when we're trying to balance the good and the bad.
I absolutely love your story about the good and the bad tenants. And that just makes this discussion so much easier to talk about now. So if we think about it, what probiotics are going to play a role in is as far as your analogy there, is the probiotics are going to be the landlord. And this landlord that's going to come into the apartment thing, and he is going to remove the nasty tenants that we don't want. And what he's going to do is he's actually going to bring in the good tenants that the building wants to have. Because if we have more of the good tenants in the building than the bad tenants, then we're going to have a much happier living space to live in, right? But when we've got way more of the bad tenants than the good tenants, then nobody lives in a very good lifestyle. It's constantly, battling out, for that. So let's look at probiotics as the good tenants. Let's look at prebiotics as the landlord. So the landlord is going to come in, he's going to sweep the building, he's going to give the eviction notices, and he's going to do what he can to move out those unwanted tenants. The probiotics are going to be those new tenants that come in, they set themselves up a beautiful home, they live in harmony with the other people in the building, but they support the livelihood and the ecosystem of that building to be a flourishing. And what we've done to our bodies, or let's say our apartment buildings, is through the foods that we consume, through the personal care products that we lather all over our skin, through the things that we engage our body or our building with on a daily basis, is we're inviting so many bad tenants in. And when I say bad tenants, I'm talking about overly processed foods. We're talking about these foods that are just substance, but no nutrition whatsoever. And if a food is coming out of a can or a package or something that's, overly processed, then we have to think about that for a second. And as much as it may taste good, and as much as let's just say Weight Watchers or one of these kind of brands that say, hey, this is good for me. No, it's not. It's packaged. It's destroyed. And that is bringing those unhealthy tenants into our body. And it's only a period of time where those unhealthy tenants are going to take over our digestive system. And, when we think about a building that's overrun with nasty tenants, just create that mental picture for yourself of what that building or what that block does and looks like, as compared to a building that's flourishing with life. And just think that, everybody's got some vegetation on their patios and just like what that flourishing environment looks like. So we think about that in reference to our digestive systems and what we're doing. And the more that we continue to invite the unwanted properties into our body, the more our body's just going to start shutting down and saying, I don't know what to do with these things. And, you mentioned earlier that our bodies are created by God, right? So if we believe that and we look to what God created our world with, He created our world with food and vegetation and natural substances that could support and embrace our lives. Fortunately, in Western diet, we've got away from a lot of that to a point where we're putting all of these nefarious ingredients into our body. So when we look at probiotics, for instance, probiotics are delivering these healthy, nice tenants into our body and these digestive enzymes that are able to break down foods, that are able to distribute stuff, the necessary ingredients through our body to substantiate a healthy, thriving body. But probiotics won't do it by themselves. And people have been sort of trained, let's say, to say, take this product in 30 days, you're going to be a new you. Well, take this product in 30 days, you won't be a new you unless you make some other lifestyle choices, right? But what these are going to do is they're going to kickstart the body's process to replenish those digestive enzymes and they're going to do their part as part of the stair-stepping to a new and better you.
Right. That was excellent in regards to adding on to what I was talking about probiotics. So one of the things I want to say or ask you, Doug, because you are the expert when it comes to supplements, how does a person choose the right probiotic?
Well, the best thing that I can say, and not only in probiotics, but in any supplement for that matter, is when you're looking at a product, never look at the front of the label, right? Because so much of this is marketing. And one of the biggest things in the probiotic market that consumers
branding and marketing, you're right.
Exactly. But one of the biggest misconceptions in the probiotic market, for instance, is people look at a label of probiotic supplements and you go into the health food store, the grocery store, wherever you're at, and there'll be an aisle or a section on probiotics. And everybody's looking at the amount of CFUs. And that CFUs, just think about it, it's called colony forming units. But for mental picture, think of it as how many good tenants you're bringing into the body.
Nice.
So that's the easiest way to think about it, is how many tenants am I bringing into the body? So people have this misconception that the amount of colony forming units or the amount of CFUs, some will say 5 billion, some will say 10 billion, some will say 100 billion. That is actually irrelevant information, because the first and foremost thing that we want to do with a probiotic is we actually want to get it into the digestive system. So think of the digestive system now as a forest fire, right? So we've moved from the apartment, now we're going to a forest fire. It's hot, it's burning, it's smoky, it's destroying and consuming everything in its path. That's kind of a picture of what our digestive system is looking like, and especially when we're sick, right? Mm-hmm. So what we need to do is we actually need to get probiotics into that environment, can actually start to squish the flames, can start to actually survive and thrive in that environment rather than getting destroyed. And many of the different probiotics that are on the market today, they get into that hot flames and that hot fire and that acidic environment, and they're actually just wiped out. They don't have a chance to flourish. So a lot of probiotic supplement companies on the market figure, okay, the way that we're going to win the battle is dump more water on the flames, right? And hope that this water will put it out. But if that water, if it's being, let's say it's being dumped out of a helicopter, if it's being dumped on the fire, but it's turning to steam before it even hits the ground, then it's been irrelevant to putting out fire. Does that kind of make a nice picture for you there? So we need to get those tenants into that where they can wake up, they can thrive, they can start to extinguish the flames and start to really make a course corrective action in the digestive system. And I'll just kind of toot our horn here for a second, is what we've done is we've got a proprietary process called MB40, and anybody can go to National Institute of Health and look at the amount of research that's been done on the MB40 strain of bacteria. And there's a lot of research and information coming out about this right now in how that is actually waking up in the digestive system. It's a spore-based probiotic that actually thrives in that environment, that isn't actually destroyed in that environment.
Okay. One of the things I wanted to address, basically, I like how you called it a forest fire. This is very important to basically say all probiotics aren't equal. One of the misconceptions that most people think, like you said about the CFUs, the colony forming units, people think that the more CFU that says on the bottle, 100,000, 50,000, you think the more you get on the front of the bottle, you're thinking you're doing something. But the point that Doug was saying is it's really not the CFUs that matter. It's basically how many of these probiotics is going to basically make it through the forest fire. Or another way to say it is the stomach, lots of acid. Most probiotics never pass your stomach. And this is backed by science and research. So all of those probiotics you guys are taking every day that you think you are healthy, you think, I take probiotics, I take this, I take that. Honestly, most of it is never getting to where it needs. It has to get past the acidic area of your stomach to get into the intestines. And studies have shown that this is not happening. And this is where what Doug was just talking about, that MB40, that new research, that new science, it's probiotic, I guess I would call it, that actually is being able to get past the stomach and get into the intestines to do its job. So that's very important when you are looking for a probiotic, like Doug said. Don't look at the front of the label. I mean, because most of our labels it's branding, it's marketing, it's sexy, it's content, it's words, it's things that make you say, oh yeah, this is what I want. And most of us do that. Even when it comes to vitamins and supplements, you're reading the front of the label. And most of you aren't reading the back of the bottle because we don't understand the lingo, the language, the words of it. So it's like, yeah, I don't know what this means, but the front says it does this job. So what he's saying is, become smart. Yeah, look, you can look at the front, but you want to turn over to the back and you want to read the ingredients. And I remember you said in a previous video, when it has a lot of long, vague words that you can't understand, it's likely that is a chemically processed ingredient. Well, when we're doing our supplements, our probiotics, our vitamins, we want to be as natural as possible. Our bodies wasn't made to take a lot of chemicals. Our liver can't break down a lot of these things. And when the liver is not able to break down, it has to store it. And that's when our liver starts having problems. And when the liver's having problems, listen, that's the beginning to the body really falling apart, because our liver is one of the hardest working organs in our body. So I like how he said that when we're taking these supplements, probiotics, when it goes into the body, picture it as it's being immersed by a forest fire, and it has to get through the fire and has to get through the flames. So with that being said, I want you to explain a little more about MB40. Now remember, Doug owns a supplement company, and please keep in mind, this is not about selling you anything by any means. This is about education. But the reason why I brought Doug on is because he has a probiotic that I support, that I use, because it has the MB40 strains in it. So Doug, can you talk a little more about the power of that MB40 and how it can actually really help those who are needing to heal their gut?
Yeah, so when we're looking at healing our gut, when we're looking at supporting, the process of restoring our gut, because the process of restoring the gut is going to take some time. In so many cases, people are suffering from leaky gut syndrome, and that's where that hot acidic environment has eroded the layer, the lining of the stomach, and it's spilling out some toxins into the body, which in a lot of cases creating these inflammatory conditions and a lot of the sicknesses people are suffering from, including skin conditions. foods. These toxins out of the gut, they make their way out to the skin. People get all sorts of different skin conditions. They think they have a skin condition where realistically they have a digestive condition, and it's just manifesting itself on the skin.
Right.
So back to probiotics. What the MB40 is it's a strain of probiotics that I'm going to say have been put into a coma, and they're sitting dormant. And they're sitting dormant until they reach the digestive system. And it's the environment of the digestive system that actually starts to wake these up out of their coma. So they're thriving in that environment. They're coming to life in that environment. And then what they're doing is they're going to work to help rebuild or repopulate that healthy digestive system. So what it is, it's bringing those tenants into the apartment building, and their house is being made up for them and completely interior decorated, let's say. And there's, like I say, there's a number of studies on MB40 on National Institute of Health. People can go and read that and just see some of the amazing findings that are coming out with this. National Institute of Health is doing a big research paper right now on MB40. And what they're seeing in regards to staph and strep and these negative bacteria has been absolutely amazing. Am I saying that the probiotic is going to heal staph and strep? No, but the body is able to heal itself of these things when we give the body what the body needs to do to heal it naturally.
Absolutely.
So and studies that have come in with this, and all this information is on our website, so people can go and they can read every ingredient in the probiotic. They can see the lab reports. They can see the studies that have been done. The nice with this is clinically proven to still be 90% alive after 12 hours.
That's rare.
Most of the probiotics on the market, and I'm beating up any competitors or anything else of this. We're just talking factual information. Most of the probiotic supplements are actually dead between 20 minutes and an hour of being ingested. And that's why so many of the different supplement brands are putting in 50, 100, trillion and billion CFUs, hoping that there'll be enough of them that stay alive to actually truly make a difference. So what we've got to also remember is our digestive system isn't just our stomach. It's our colon, it's our liver, it's our kidneys. It's the whole system of when we bring food in to how it's dispersed through the body and how it's filtered and then how it exits the body. So the one thing that we actually have to make sure of as well is that we're actually getting lubrication to the colon. We're getting lubrication to actually move, as we get these unwanted things out of the body, we got to get the body moving properly. And enough people just aren't pooping regularly on a daily basis and they're sponged up. So what we've added slippery elm into this probiotic. We've added turmeric to help with the inflammatory side. We've added inulin to help pull the toxins out of the body.
Yes.
So if we can replenish the digestive system, if we can help remove the toxins out of the body, and then we can get the bowels and the colon lubricated, then we can feed, remove, and get the body pulling these substances out. And as a result of that, people are going to feel better. They're going to feel more energy. They're not going to feel as bogged down and as, mental clarity, because all of those things is when our body's bunged up and our digestive system isn't working properly, then everything within our body suffers as a result of that. And we hear all the time, and I'm sure you hear with the people you engage with, people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Right? They're tired of being lethargic and laying on the couch. They're tired of not having the energy to just even go for a walk around the block. They're tired of not spending time with their kids. They're tired of the brain fog and just not feeling good. And all of those things, people can actually start feeling much better from very quickly. And I'm not saying take this and all your problems are going to go away. Right. But what I'm saying is when we can start course correcting the gut and course correcting the digestive system and really moving the crap, and this is the only way I can say it, the garbage of the body, then people will start naturally going to feel better. The body is going to respond. So the other side to it as well is people are loading up on supplements thinking that the more I take, the better I'm going to be. But what we've got to do is we've got to get the digestive system into a space where it can actually properly absorb and use these supplements.
That's right.
So everybody's seen the pictures that they take in outhouses after a concert or after an event, and they're full of supplements. People are just literally taking supplements and they're going right through the body. When our digestive system is overworked, and we talked about the forest fire a couple minutes ago, but when that fire is raging so hot and it's burning and it's creating the environment, what it's doing is it's hindering the ability for us to break our foods down. It's hindering the ability to, if we take and we eat a good healthy lifestyle, it's hindering the ability for the body to absorb those minerals and those vitamins in our foods and distribute it throughout the body. The same with supplementation. So we've got this good tenant versus bad tenant, let's say, or good army versus bad army. When the bad's eating the good, they have enough, I'm going to say, capacity to do its job. So the digestive system looks at these things and says, this is great that you're trying to help out here, but you're helping me out in the wrong way. I can't break this down, so I'm just going to literally pass it through the body. And people are spending a lot of money every year on not addressing the root cause, trying to too much at it, and just throwing these supplements and their money down the toilet. And right now, if we look at inflation and the cost of living, most of us can't afford to be flushing money down the toilet, right?
Absolutely. We really can't.
We need to look at this in a very conservative approach, but we need to just think about this with common sense, right? So the first step that we need to do in able to get our bodies to a point where it can start recovering is get control of that digestive system. And it's not, hey, let's throw as much at it as we can. It's actually, let's back off on a lot of things we're doing. Let's look at our diet. Let's look at our water intake. So many people are dehydrated, and the collagen market is just thriving on dehydrated people thinking that they need to take collagen where they don't. They're just dehydrated. And we need to look at how do we start repairing the digestive system. And if we can just start to do those three things, back off on spending a whole bunch of money on the latest and greatest and, the quick, but, think about how do we one by one, let's go back to the apartment building for a second. If we've got a 10-story apartment building and there's 10, apartments on each story, we need to address this one by one. We can't just go in and evict everybody tomorrow. We'll have a huge problem on our hands. We just need to do it step by step and realize that course correcting the body, in spite of what Dr. Google's told you, in spite of what Facebook and Instagram and all of these different things have told you about, you're going to have a brand new you in 30 days. Just sit back and think about it for a second. I'm just about 50 years old, right? How long has it taken me to get in the condition that I'm in, right? And I'm going to say that I haven't been through my personal health journeys as well. But, when we look at what it takes for us to get to the point where we're at right now, and that point is I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of whatever that condition is that somebody's suffering from. But it didn't just come on last night. It's taken years to sort of break the body down to now a point where somebody's going, man, like I'm in rough shape. So it's going to take some time to rebuild that, but we can look at that as an embracing process too. Start that today. Start to make those smart decisions today. Start to think about the food, start to think about the beverages, start to think about the sleep, the exercise, and each day just make one little step that goes in the right direction. And I would say, like I say, the probiotics play a very important role in rebuilding that digestive system. They're not the be all end all, but they're an absolute great starting point to build, to start, the course correction. And then for the long term, keep those healthy enzymes, keep those healthy properties coming into the gut that are going to help support the gut long term.
That was fantastic. I hope you guys were taking notes. What he said basically at the end of the day is that probiotics are necessary. It's not the end all. It's not do its job by itself, but it is something. If you are trying, and here's the word he used that I'm going to take and run with it, rebuild. When we are unhealthy, and most of us now, we are on a healthy journey, what you're trying to do is reset and rebuild your body system. The way that the body is made, the body can recover, the body can rebuild, the body can reset, but you have to give the body everything it needs, and it will do that for you. Think about when you get a cut, you did not heal that cut. All you did was clean it up, you put something on it, you put a Band-Aid on it, and you walked away. But each day as you look at it, the scab, well, actually, as soon as the skin tears, the cells within your body, they all come to your aid to clot that blood, the whole system within that body, including your microbes. And then next thing you know, there's a scab on it. And in a couple of days, the scab falls off. And in a few days from there, you might not even see where that cut once were. The point of me bringing this to you is showing you how the body heals, because we've all been there. We've had bruises. We saw the body, just give it what it needs and the body will heal. For you guys who've had cuts and sores and may have taken a longer time to heal, that's a sign of a nutritional deficiency. That's a sign of possibly a deficiency in zinc and so many other things. But if we give our body a chance to rebuild itself, it can and it will. And probiotics, as we were talking about, is one of the things that help. Now, here are a few other things that you need on your journey to rebuilding your body system. A diet rich in fibers. The gut needs fiber in such a big way. It can't do it without the fiber. The gut needs the fiber. The gut needs the probiotics. The gut needs the prebiotics. And your prebiotics are basically those foods that are going to feed your good bacteria what it needs. And one good prebiotic are the apples. Apples is an amazing prebiotic. Pears, amazing prebiotic. A banana, a prebiotic. These are things that you can feed good bacteria right away. For prebiotics, along with lifestyle changing, learning how to minimize stress, physical activity in there, drinking more water. These are the steps to heal. It doesn't cost you so much to do that. But just as he said, it's a course. It's a step by step. As you guys know, I do nutritional programs. Step nutritional programs to take you from being sick and tired of to now you're healthy, you're vibrant, your mental health is phenomenal, energy level is amazing, and people are asking you, what did you do? Because you are so fabulous. So these are things that we are here today to help you with on your health journey. One last thing I want to talk to you about probiotics in our interview today. Doug, what would you say? What is the future of probiotics?
I think the future is they're going to be a necessity as we go forward. And one of the things that truly scares me in all of this, and I'm going to say it from what we're seeing in inflation and cost of living for people, is I see supplementation, probiotics, and different compounds going to be more of a necessity, because as costs rise, people are going more towards processed foods. They're going more towards the quick meals. They're going more towards things in a box that are cheap. And unfortunately, that's going to continue to wreak havoc on people's bodies, right? Because they're not getting the nutrition. And I look at the price of fruits and vegetables and meats and everything right now just soaring. And it's like, wow, like this is going in the wrong direction than it should. The things that are good for us are unachievable in a lot of cases. And the things that are crappy for us are what's on sale, they're buy one, get 10 free kind of things. We're going to see, a continual destruction of the digestive system. But, here's the interesting fact is the body is a healing, treating, curing machine. The body was designed to repair itself and rejuvenate and regenerate itself. So there's this huge misconception out there that people think I need to take all of these different supplements in order to heal my body. And the nutraceutical industry has done a great job of saying, take this, heal that. But one of the things that we just need to truly understand is the body thrives on vitamins, minerals, the herbs and botanicals that the body needs to flourish and nourish itself, right? And if we can give the body what the body needs, then the body's going to heal itself. So when we come at this today, and I'm coming as the owner of a supplement company, I'm not coming on this to say, hey, buy my product because it's going to fix your problems. The approach that we take to supplementation is how do we get these essential herbs, microbes, organisms, vitamins, minerals from the earth into the human body as was designed to absorb them so that they can actually do the job that they're intended to do to help the body thrive. And if we can do that, then healing, treating, curing, helping the body isn't the job of supplement. It's the job of the body to do so. It's the job of the supplement to give the body what the body's not getting from our normal lifestyle today. So I just want to sort of squish anybody thinking that, you have to take this to fix that. we're basically trying to get the body what the body's not getting. Years ago, our foods were rich in minerals, were dense in vitamins. Like, our food would give us enough. Unfortunately, we don't have that anymore. So we have to look to outside sources to fuel the body, to give the body what the body's not getting, and then find those sources of nutrition and those 4 sources of supplementation that kind of haven't gone down the road of big foods to say, hey, we can do this better. My belief is, we're created in God's image and likeness, and our world was created to substantiate that creation. So I'm not here to think that I can do a better job at God at creating a supplement or manipulating ingredient to do it better. My job is to get those ingredients from the earth as they were intended into the human body, and do that in the best, most efficient way possible, and keeping them true to nature.
That is wonderful. For all of you, meolife.com, you have to check out his whole line of supplements. They even have a structural alkaline water, which I think is so amazing. They even have a soap. I mean, they have a little bit of everything that is on the natural tip. So please check out meolife.com to learn more about what Doug has to offer. Doug, thank you so much today for spending some time with me so that I can help people understand what probiotics are, why we need them, and we do. The way our life is, the way our bodies are, we definitely, our microbes need support, and that's one of the ways to do it. If you want to learn more in this video, look down in the description box. I'll have a link to Amio Life. I'll even have a discount code for you to use if you find something that you want to purchase and try out from Amio Life. But just know the name Amio Life, it's a brand. They aren't new. It is a brand that you need to know in your life when you are looking for natural ways to help your body do what it is supposed to do. I'm trying to help you in a sense because I get asked all the time, what supplements to take? What do I do? What do I do? And I know finding Doug, I researched him. I dug deep. Everything he does, I looked into it just to see if he talks the talk and walk the walk. And he does. His entire company do. So if you're looking for some natural supplements, the real deal in regards to probiotics and more, that's where you can check. So I want to thank you all for joining me today in this session, learning about probiotics. I hope you did learn a little something from me today. And I will see you guys in the next video. We have so many things that Doug and I want to share with the world on how to be healthy and all the things, like he said, from herbs on down. We are discussing it in a natural way. I'll see you in the next video.